Hey guys, okay, so welcome to the Transformation Gym Kitchen. Okay, myself, Luke and Gavin here, we just did a great workout and we need some post-workout fuel. So I'm doing a healthy but sexy oatmeal dish. Okay, so I'm going to create a nice superfood style, colourful, creative oat dish. Okay, nice and quick, nice and simple, but loads of fresh produce. And then I'm going to do a bircher, okay, nice and quick in under 3 minutes. Okay, and just create it with little seeds, nuts, some raw cacao nibs and things like that. I'm going to talk you through the health benefits and why we're using it. So let's get to work. So first one we're doing a caramelised banana. Okay, so what I like to do with this, we're going to cut it down so we get those nice shapes. Okay, so I've trimmed the edges off those.
So Luke, what's the benefit of having fruit and the likes of oats after training?
So I like to train on empty stomach in the morning. Okay, so especially I'm very active in the day as well, so I need those carbs straight in the system. Okay, also I'm going to be using some healthy fats as well, so I'm going to be using the Udo's Choice Ultimate Blend. Okay, it's a combination of flaxseed oils, primrose, coconut, okay, and loads of like wheat germs and things like that. So it's going to aid digestion. It's full of all your omega-3, 6 and 9. Okay, so you get a nice ratio of 3 to 6 in there. Okay, so that's going to keep our heart healthy. So we're looking at heart healthy foods that are going to help satiety and help us regulate our blood sugars. Okay, and keep us fuller for longer, so we're not picking and binging on those lattes at Costa or your Costa muffins, which we tend to do, right? So that's what we're doing today. So I've got half a cup of oats. Okay, got a 175 to 200 millilitres of almond oil. Okay, this is from Aldi, so it's nice and cost effective. Okay, but just as good. And we've got some fresh blueberries, raspberries. Okay, for our bircher. Got some chia seeds here as well, and the raw cacao nib. Okay, so this is pure, Peruvian, okay, so full of magnesium, okay, so full of all your polyphenols and all your phytonutrients, which is great for keeping a healthy system, okay, and magnesium, which is great for recovery, okay, especially after our workout, so we want that recovery.
So we've got a good combination of carbs, sugars and protein as well.
Yeah, so we've got that balance. So with the protein, okay, I'm going to be using nut butter, okay, so, and also there is a fair amount of protein in the carbohydrate because I've used a little bit of looping flakes, okay, so this is 40% protein and the rest of it is fibre, okay, only 4% carbs, okay, so I've combined the oats with the looping flakes. Okay, I can give you a link if you're interested in these. Okay, with the bircher, okay, we're going to be using more of a yogurt base, so you get that protein and you get that natural fat. And I've chose to use a Greek yogurt 100%. Okay, reason is not low fat. Okay, obviously when we go low fat, okay, we tend to remove something to replace something. Okay, so I want to keep the flavour, I want to keep that satiety like I like to talk about. Okay, so when you get fat in the system, okay, you're fuller for longer, you're more satisfied and you don't crave. Okay, and also with the natural yogurt as well, okay, you know what's in it, okay, it's 100%, okay, but if you're dairy intolerant, can use things like soy yogurt or coconut, okay, but we've just gone for the Greek dairy yogurt here, okay, so we're just going to use a little bit of that today. Alright, so hob is on. Okay, so oats go in and we're going to add the almond milk.
Would you have it at a high heat, a fair heat?
Okay, so we want to keep it around, so with porridge, okay, you want to get it nice and hot to start with, and then you're going to let it simmer. Okay, if you let it simmer, it just becomes more creamy. Okay, if you just boil it, or you put it in the microwave, okay, it's just going to go hard and sticky, and we don't want that. We want that creamy texture. Okay. So the thing with the oats, you want to keep stirring it, okay? Keep it on a moderate heat, so I'll put it around 4 or 5, okay? So it's going to whack the heat up to start with, just to get it to boiling, and then we're just going to simmer it. Okay, with the bananas, okay, what we're going to do with those, I'm going to caramelise those in a bit of coconut oil. Okay, the reason I'm going to use coconut oil, it can cook at a high temperature, okay, so it doesn't oxidise, so you don't get that burning smell which you do if you're using like an olive oil or sunflower oil. Okay, also you get that coconut flavour as well.
And here is the organic coconut oil.
Yeah, so that one was actually what, £2 from Aldi. So organic, okay, 100% wall pressed. So convenient, easy for baking, frying. Okay, so much you can do with it. Okay, so but I love the flavour. So you can either go flavourless or flavour. Okay, whatever you prefer. Okay, so what we're going to do with that one is we're going to add a bit of the coconut oil to that. So I want to get the pan nice and hot to start with, and then I'm going to add the coconut oil in there. So you're looking around half a teaspoon. Okay, so if you want to do a nice, if you want to create a little, fragrance with it, using things like cinnamon, cardamom, just give it that oomph. Okay, but we're not going to be doing that today. We're just going to use a bit of raw honey, okay, which we've got local, so fresh organic honey. Caramelise that with the oil, with the bananas. That's going to sit nicely on the oats. Finish it off with a few little others to make it look pretty. Bish bash bosh.
Obviously, we don't have to add every ingredient. So what would you recommend as the basic level?
So basic level is, as long as you've got the oats, okay, with nice plant milk. Okay, I'm dairy intolerant, so I tend to not have dairy. Okay, also it's a lot lighter on the tummy. Okay, so that's your base line. If you want to make it a lot quicker, I would mash like half a banana, put it in the oats, and then you've got like a banana oatmeal. Nice and quick, nice and simple. Okay,
so could you recommend this as a normal breakfast for people, or is it ideal for as a snack?
Okay, so this would be a great breakfast, definitely. Or if you was doing it as like a pre or post workout type thing. Okay, so let's get that nice and hot. Okay, so like I said, with the coconut oil, you can cook at a high temperature and it won't burn. So that's why I tend to use the coconut over everything else. And we're literally just caramelising. So when I say that, it's going to release the sweetness from the banana. Okay. Also, another good one, if you want to use like a homemade jam, just get some mashed raspberries. Okay. In there, a little bit of sweetness if you like, or there's sweet enough as there are, and a bit of chia seed just to give you some protein and a bit of fibre in there as well, and your healthy fats. So that's a good idea you could do, or a blueberry compote. Okay, so you could use those two instead of using your Roundtree's jams that you get from your supermarkets, which are just laden and full of sugar. Okay, obviously fruit is sugar, but fruit, you know where it's coming from. It's more of a natural source. Plus your berries, for example, are more your lower sugar content fruit. Okay, so if you're looking at something in terms of like a lower calorie diet, berries are the way to go. Okay, but we've just done a hard session, so I want to just pack those calories in. And obviously bananas have got things like potassium in there as well. Okay, and all your minerals that we need.
So your background's sport, isn't it, Luke?
Sport, track and field was my event. So
would you recommend this sort of food not just for the general public but also for athletes as well?
Definitely, but I would definitely load up on things like fibre. So I love fibre foods. So obviously oats. I love my proteins, obviously, but I like to tend to focus more on like a plant protein. That's why I use things like raw seeds or raw nuts. So we've got things like walnuts, okay, which are one of my favourites. So if I was talking about nuts, okay, these were like what, 79p from Aldi, okay, convenient, okay.
It's really good value there as well, isn't it?
Great value. Yeah. So the things with nuts as well, we tend to go overboard. So what I would do with the nuts, if you've got some like nice plastic bags, just put a small handful, and space them out. Otherwise, if you're taking this to work with you just eat the whole lot. So just little tricks like that, take
little Tupperware as well.
Yeah, little Tupperware box.
Yeah.
Okay, literally just gonna.
That's it. If people tend to fill their plate, they tend to eat it also.
They do. Okay. So you can see the bananas are starting to sweat down there.
So if someone wants to lose weight, would you recommend this also?
Okay, so if they wanted to lose weight, I'd probably remove the banana as such, and I'd probably use more like your lighter fruits, like your berries. Okay, things like the nuts and the seeds. The reason I'd use a few of those, best way to do it is crush them, like grind them down easily digestible, but they're going to keep you fuller for longer. Okay, so the fuller for longer, you're not going to pick, you're not going to be hungry. That's the problem with people nowadays. They get up in the morning, they have a coffee, they get their caffeine fix, and then they skip breakfast, and then they're hungry again. Okay, so practically nearly done now. We're just going to serve this up.
So what we've done so far then?
Okay, so caramelise the bananas. Okay, so they're going to have a nice sweetness. Okay, so you can use honey, you can use things like stevia, which is a lot lower calorie. Okay, more of a plant-based sauce. Okay.
Would you favour honey naturally?
Not necessarily. I would normally use like a coconut sugar or.
So we've got a local honey here.
But this is an organic, and I'm all for farmers and keeping
fresh organic honey, and it's localised. So what do you see as the benefit of having local honey?
So we're keeping them obviously in work. Okay, obviously we know where we're getting it from as well. Okay, so
it's local source.
Yeah, definitely. Whereas all these packaged honeys where you can get for like a Roundtree's honey, like the squeezy honey, they've been through a process as well. Okay, so
we need to stop adding brands.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to serve the oats with the banana, and we're going to make it look pretty. So I'm going to get a spoon.
So look, you've always had a passion for nutrition.
Yeah.
Obviously you're going to be the head chef of the Transformation Gym kitchen.
Yeah.
And we've got other plans in the horizon. So with nutrition today, would you say most people just generally don't have the time, or would you say it's down to laziness, or would you just say it's down to ill education with recipes?
I hate the word time because, okay, for me, for example, I make the time. So I'd rather get up, it's preparation. So if you've got a busy day ahead of you, maybe spare 10-15 minutes extra the night before, or get up that 15 minutes early so you can make a quick breakfast. Okay, it could be simple as a smoothie, literally like a green smoothie.
And we'll do one of those videos.
Yeah, we'll do one of those. I'll show you how.
Yeah, they'll also be on YouTube as well.
So literally, I'm just going to stack the banana. So I just like to make it look a little bit better.
There you go. So what we got there then? We've got
we've got the oats, which we've simmered in. I'm just going to sprinkle some cacao nibs so you get that richness. Okay, so you could use you could use a bit of dark chocolate, grate a square, so you got extra decadence, and it just melts. So you get that goodness from the chocolate. Okay, chocolate does have its benefits. Okay,
if we bring that over here then. So you got the option of also bringing into play other fruits as well.
Yeah, so if you want to, so we won't do that today, but we're going to use those for the bircher. But things like passion fruit. We're in the summer, exotic fruits, things like kiwi. So I bought my little gadget, watch this, you'll like this. Okay, so we're going down the middle, watch this, you'll like this. So if you want to make it look fancy.
That's cool.
This is how I like to do it. And then we could do it like that.
There you go.
So you could sit it like that, make it look pretty.
That's pretty.
There we go. Finish a few chia seeds on there. Right, don't tell me, if you seen just a normal plain bowl of porridge, with milk, or would you rather eat that?
That's much sexier, and it smells lovely as well.
So
look at that.
So instead of layering the banana on top, I would, if it was me, if you want to do it quicker, mash the banana, combine it with the oats, combine it with the plant milk or the water. Coconut water is great too. Literally keep it on a low heat, stir it throughout, nice and creamy, done. Okay, obviously that was a little bit slower than normal.
And also you're a bit of a perfectionist, aren't you? So obviously that looks
really
good, for most people, it won't look like that, but trust me, the smell of it.
So what I would do if I was wanted to create something a little bit more sexy, just find something what stands out in colour. Okay, so you think your kiwis, vibrant greens, you got your vibrant reds. Cherries is another one. Cherries are great.
So if someone's out there and trying to impress their new boyfriend, girlfriend, this is definitely a good breakfast starter.
If you wanted to add some more protein in there, you could use some scoop of protein. So I tend to use more vegan-based protein. So things like hemp, rice, pea protein. are great. Or we've got the Jim Beam brand here. This is a Madagascar vanilla. Okay, we can use a scoop of the diet protein in there as well. So it's got things like your green tea extract, L-carnitine, things that are going to facilitate fat loss and also keep you fuller throughout the day. And
So
keep
if you want a bit
your
more
mental-
protein, just add a little bit into
Yeah,
the,
so
into
and
the
also
oats.
that will give you a bit more of a creaminess as well.
Yeah.
All right, so
Super. So thanks,
go.
Luke. That's you can follow the recipes at Transformation Gym Kitchen, also on Gavin Townsend YouTube. And Luke, what's your Instagram?
So Luke Baker's Kitchen, okay? So at Luke Baker's Kitchen, I'm going to call this one Porridge of the Gods, because
Well, look at it. You can't go wrong, can you?
that's just a sexy bowl of food in my opinion.